Hi, my little Patreons. Oh, there's other people in there as well. Normally, I just say, hi, Patreons. Thank you for your continued support, because I think no one's in the room yet. And people are just watching it on the replay. But, of course, I'm just sharing it out to other platforms now. So there's more of you in here. So that seemed a bit stupid. But thanks, Patrons, for your continued support, nonetheless. We really appreciate you. Right. Let's get this computer. Oh, we just saw a little bit of Gemma's hair. She's getting a bit braver. Oh, look, there's her eye. Oh! Crikey, we are on it.
6 people saw me. 6 people.
Why don't you just show yourself off a bit? She's really dressed up, Sweet Sweet. She's shy. Put in the comments, hashtag show us your monkey. No, not that. Why haven't I got any chat comments? What? This is stupid. Show chat. Ah, there they all are. Fight scene. Do you watch football, Paul? No, I'm not a fan. Do you mean soccer? I actually wrote a nutrition plan for the local soccer club captain, Russell Martin, back in 2015, when he, I sort of helped persuade him to go vegan. He was going to keep eggs in, but I said they're little cholesterol bombs, so he got rid of those. But no, I don't watch it. Not a fan. Obviously, Rose is in the house, or IRL friend, Regina, of course. Jill Woolley, obviously. Jessica Herbert. What do you think? Julian Walters, my IRL friend. I'm a machine. Gurdeep, of course. Paige Eats Plants is up in there. Yeah, she is pretty. I'm a very lucky boy. Pigeon Extremist. D. Shah, Fat Vegan. All the usuals. Gareth Kirk, Victoria Morris, BBH. Oh, both looking gorgeous. I like you.
Show everyone your nice shirt.
What? They can see it, can't they? There's my nice shirt.
Look how nice it is. And I'm dressed up as well.
Oh, you are getting brave. Gub Zero, tofu or tempeh? Which is healthier? Tempeh by a long way. So tofu is got all the fibre extracted. You lose about half the minerals. But with, let me just bring you a bit closer. With tempeh, it's actually whole edamame beans, or whole soybeans, I should say. And it is fermented mycelium, which is like the roots of mushrooms. So that's particularly healthful. And it's fermented as well. So it's actually really good, really, really good. Not that tofu is inherently bad. I think if you're eating like, if you're trying to get a lot of calories in, maybe you're trying to grow some muscle or whatever, you know, and it gets hard, you know, you get so much volume, you know, and you really want to cut down on the fibre a little bit where you can. And so you're still getting a lot of good things from the tofu. So as long as you've got some legumes in there, I don't see it as too unhealthy. As long as it's not one of these pre-made sort of fillets or cutlets or whatever with added oil and other such nonsense. My good friend Jason, who I am... he's one of my online clients. Any advice for having trouble with sleeping during cut? And thanks for joining, by the way. I've not really noticed any problems sleeping during a cut. I wonder it's probably a hunger thing, is it? I'd say like just fill up perhaps on the low calorie veg. So I will put in like a last meal perhaps, but just celery, leafy greens, you know, salad, cooked greens, what else, like cruciferous vegetables, things like that, and just like spice it well, like bung on the herbs, and hopefully that'll fill you up. And then just in terms of normal sleep hygiene, you know, you don't want that blue light going into your eyes like within 3 hours of going to bed. So ideally get off your devices. Failing that, there's the Flux app, f.lux, and towards bedtime it takes out the blue. Everything goes a bit yellow. But that's all right if you're going to sleep well. Your bedroom should be slightly cool. It should be really dark. If not, get an eye mask. They're really great. Earplugs, you know, you don't want any sort of sounds. Alcohol, caffeine, they all like mess up your sleep. Yeah, that's my best advice. Thanks for joining, Jason. Good to see you. Jude Wood, why are my farts so bad? Vegan now. Any reason you know of? Are you fairly recently vegan? So the big thing is that when we eat like a junk food diet or a diet with much in the way of animal products, we tend to attract pathogenic gut bacteria. There's hundreds of different types of bacteria that live in our colon, but these ones all share this same thing in common, that they eat like the junkier and animal foods, and they're called the Bacteroides strains, and they can't break down fiber. Like they eat like you know, animal protein, fats. They're drinkers as well. They like a bit of the old alcohol. Anything like negative you put in your body, they love it. So they thrive. This is half the reason why people are unwell, you know, when they don't eat whole plant foods, because their gut health is terrible. And that's the bedrock. Like we need the Prevotella strains that eat soluble fiber and resistant starch. So the good bacteria are whole foods vegans. So the way to encourage those to live in your gut is to eat whole plant foods. But it's not like a quick fix. And imagine you got a zoo full of meat eaters. That's how you can liken your gut previously, before going like whole foods, plant-based. Imagine you're giving them loads of plant foods to eat. They're not eating it. So what's going to happen is it's gonna all ferment like really bad. It's going to go all rotten and nasty. So the thing to do really is a transitory period. I actually, as a nutritionist, I advise people to take out, over the course of a few short weeks, take out a little of the animal products and processed junk, put in a little bit more of the whole plant foods with the high fiber, week by week by week by week. Very, very soon, like you're transitioned over, but you've given your gut microbiome, your enterotype, it will change from Bacteroides dominant, which is like an alkaline environment that Prevotella doesn't like. You change it over slowly into a Prevotella dominant enterotype. And these good bacteria, they make short chain fatty acids. They create an acid environment, kills Bacteroides. It will deal with all the fiber and things, so you don't need to have gas, bloating, diarrhea, constipation with diarrhea, which sounds mad, but that's a thing. You know, potentially pain, like knots in your sort of guts. It's basically like you've probably got the wrong microbiome currently, the wrong enterotype, and it just takes a little while to transition over for those guys. We had a super chat. Apple Jar. I should have known. My Australian buddy kindly donating money as always, supporting our cause. Kindly donated $2 Australian. Hi, Hench Friendly Neighbourhood Vegan. It's a global neighbourhood, isn't it? These days, it's beautiful. I sort of liken the world to an organism, and I think that we're kind of cells in that organism. Sometimes some of us are trying to do good in the organism. Some of us are doing bad, and the internet is kind of our central nervous system. Like we all sort of communicate, and I think it's a beautiful thing. Honesty Rosa, hey Hench, how have you found all this has affected your motivation to create content? I finally managed to put our YouTube video nice today. Go and check out everyone Honesty Rose's video. She's right great at the yogas and that. She's got a good Instagram account as well. It's made me more motivated. To be honest, like life's not a lot different for me really. Like I was already, you know, I'm already working from home, and but I'm just inspired to reach people. We're inspired to do these nightly live streams just to connect with people, like to help them out. Like maybe a lot of people are sort of trapped on their own, and to help us out as well. Today is the first time we actually went to the shop today because we couldn't get enough deliveries of food, like for the first time. That's the first time we've really gone anywhere, you know, other than doing our sort of cardio and things on our bikes. So yeah, it's not really, it's sort of business as usual, but if anything, I'm more inspired. I think I'm getting more content out than ever, and I'm trying to up the bar in terms of the production value and whatnot as well. Good question. Jace, right, I've been vegan for ages, still fart a lot. Could be, if you're drinking like much, if you're having tap water, any alcohol, SLS in your toothpaste, which is like an antibacterial. If you're not rinsing your crockery and cutlery well, could be antibacterial agents from that, like killing you good bacteria. That can be a problem. But if your whole food's plant-based for long enough and it still continues, then likely something's not quite right there. Some kind of gut problem, perhaps like a bacterial infection or...
One thing I noticed is like I have to be quite consistent with the amount of legumes I have. Like if I don't have any legumes, say for a few days or longer, and then I try and have like 2 cans in one day, that really upsets me.
So I think there's probably specific like bacteria, like there's a lot of fibre in those, isn't there? And all the different bacteria eat different types of things. So as Gemma says, you need to be quite consistent and make sure you're getting the different food groups like every day. Cheers everyone, I just got some pond water to drink. Just kidding, us up. Viva Life Thrive. It's like that multi-nutrient, like living multi-nutrient. So like a multivitamin mineral made from whole foods. Really tasty, actually. This one is pineapple and baobab.
Yeah.
Pineapple and baobab. Sanctum Vegan. Henchy, is stretching incorporated into your physical training routine? Do you feel flexibility is important for health, and if so, is it often overlooked? Yeah, I often like let it slide, and it's to my detriment. And then like I kind of have a back issue, which then kicks off like a hip impingement. I like to try to keep up with some sun salutations. Do you know that, the kind of yoga flow? So it's a lot of kind of warrior pose, up dog, down dog. You kind of planking. There's a kind of that mad cat sort of, well, you don't do the mad cat, you go from like a quadruped into down dog. Oh, Family Freedom's here. We had a lovely chat with those guys last night on the old, what do you call that, FaceTime?
Yeah, I think it was Messenger, was it? Or...
Whatever. They're lovely people. If you don't know them, they are a family of vegan vloggers. They've got a brilliant channel, doing really, really well. So do subscribe to those guys. I knew Bob or Katie, whoever it was that commented on my last video, I knew you'd be all over that, bless you, and I really love you for all the love you give me. You're really lovely people. I said love a lot there.
I had a super chat.
Bob Love. Hello, Applejar kindly donated 99 Australian. Are they cents? Did we ascertain that last night?
I think we did.
And I don't know if that's a poop or a chocolate ice. I'm going to say it's a chocolate ice cream.
You don't want to get that wrong.
Yeah. Oh, and then he said, Hench, you recommended me sun salutation for my lower back pain, and it's gone. Yeah, there you go. You're very welcome. I'll tell you what else is good for your back, is to hang from a bar, like a chin-up bar, but you want it low enough that your toes can touch the floor, like about a foot or so behind yourself. So you've got like a little arch in your back. And in that way, enough of your body is supported. You're just on your tiptoes, but it just takes the pressure off your body, and then your kind of tonic, like postural muscles don't chomp in your core, and your spine gets to really release. And I actually hear like 2 or 3 distinctive like clunks. And then when your spine is elongated like that, then you do your kind of prone cobra and your up dog type stretches. And wow, it's so much easier. That's a great little strategy. Asadist is in the house. Jude Wood, I'm drinking Thrive Pineapple and Baobab once a day is great for D3 and B12. Yeah, it sure is. DC 10001 says, is there one year? It's their vegan anniversary. Let's have a round of applause in the comments. Wow, yeah! Good on ya. T-Fuse, the legend is back. I don't know if you mean me or you, but you probably are a legend, so I'm going to imagine that you mean you. Thanks for joining us, you legend. Apple jar, no, I already said that. It's actually Peep Ice Cream plays it 12. B12 plays it vegan. T-Fuse, you look like my gym teacher, I'm scared. Drop and give me 20. Drop and give me 20, mister. Lenny Harry, 5 Tibetan rites for any back pains and a decent morning and evening stretching. Good video on my channel. Interesting, I didn't know you had a channel. Go and check him out. Young human, I think we greatly underestimate animal consciousness, intelligence. Yeah, I think most of us do hugely. You're right. Daniel Diaz, have you thought of doing a vid on quarantine workout? So I did one workout already, which was a banded whole body workout. So I did that kind of for beginners, and I've now started my own more sort of hardcore workout. I'm shooting today. We've been shooting a like a quarantine vlog, if you like how we're eating, how we're training. So I've put it was a pull workout that I did, so I've put that in there. Really interesting. Got some Nordic hamstring curls, if you know what they are. It's basically your whole body moves and your lower leg stays in place. It's a bit of a toughie. By using a resistance band, it can like take your weight a little bit, and so you can, even if you're not strong enough to do them because they are so hard, you can then do them with a band, basically hooked up to a chin-in bar. And then in this exercise, you just fight the eccentric, and then you sort of shove yourself up again with your hands. So you're only working the eccentric portion. That is like the worst way to train it. It rips so many fibers, like much more than normally when you're doing a sort of concentric and eccentric phase. So that's amazing. Emmanuel Stefan's in the house. Pixel Atom. Family Freedom, let's get some more likes on this chat. Yeah, that's a good idea. I've actually remembered to thumb up my own stream for one, so that's good. What have you guys been up to today, Bob, Katie and Jojo? I'm interested.
Tell everyone what you've been up to.
What have I been up to? Yeah, so we left the house to get some shopping in for the first time. Got a bit told off at Lidl. I was like surreptitiously like filming the queue, really doing it sneakily, and I got spotted, and the girl had the bit of the hump. But I wasn't like horrible to her. Like, that's fair enough, innit? That's her job, and that's their private property, and I guess their rules. So we didn't go in there. We went to where even did we go?
Tesco Express.
Oh yeah, the little Tesco Express. Yeah, that was it. Which one was it? Oh, it was just up the road, wasn't it? We were going to. There's so many Tesco's, I sort of forget. And I went to go to one of them, and we probably would have passed 2 other ones on the way. So we went in a nearby one on Elsham Road, and got our things. So we had our masks on, and we were seeing the social distancing. We noted that everyone seems down. Everyone seemed a bit bleak and down. However, when we went out for our cardio this morning, sadly the camera died just before it happened. I had my GoPro on, or Gemma had it on her bike. But a policeman was cycling towards us, and he said good morning, and that was lovely. Yeah. That was really lovely. So, some good to come out of this horribleness.
You're doing a nice vlog at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah.
All about quarantine life. And
yeah, all about it.
Your workouts and shopping and all sorts of stuff.
We just had a sort of date night, which is why we're dressed up. That was part of the vlog. Oh, were we going to put this into the vlog? Oh, we've talked about it, haven't we? I think that would be overkill. I don't think you need to do that. Chris Grant's in the house. We're good, thank you. Hope you're well. Assad. Yeah, coronavirus is better to be avoided, that's for sure. Noble and Savage brings up a good point. Ford, that shirt though. Thank you very much. This is from, what are they called? Julo. It's the world's first biodegradable man-made polyamide. So basically like nylon, if you know that brand name. So polyamide. So it's a plastic, but it biodegrades once it's in an anaerobic environment, so in a landfill or underwater. It breaks down in 3 to 5 years instead of taking like potentially like hundreds of years. And it's non-toxic. It degrades into biomass and biogas that can actually be harnessed for energy. It's the world's first shirt of its kind. Yeah, Dulo. We are Dulo is their tag on Facebook, Instagram. Oh, they're an amazing company. They must win an award for this technology. It's stretchy, it's really comfortable, it's light, it's breathable, it's moisture wicking. It's got silver ions, is it? Basically, it's like antibacterial. You basically wash it, hang it up, you never have to iron it. You put it on and your body heat like gets rid of any like wrinkle. It's so good. And
it fits you the best out of any shirt.
It's the best fitting shirt, and oh, they're such lovely people. If you look on my Instagram, I did a photo in it tonight. Excuse me, and I tagged them in it if you want to go and check out their stuff.
Such a good shirt.
Assad, I think coronavirus makes you can't breathe. Yeah, that's what I've heard as well. Poor old Katie from Family Freedom, she's had it. She's had it. You can check out their vlogs. Bless her. She got over it quick because she's a strong vegan female. She's an SVF. The vegan metalhead working on a video is what I'm up to right now. Nice. Nice. What sort of video are you doing? Noble and Savage, thankfully I still have a job and can work from home. Software developer, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, we can work from home. Initially, like last week, I had no work coming in terms of plans, which is sort of makes up half my money. So that was a bit scary. But then in this week, like there's been a few coming again, and it's fit pretty much back to normal. We put our cookbook to half price, so that's sort of really helped. We sold a few more of those. We're going to keep it during the length of the quarantine for half price, so people can, maybe afford to get it. And if they're stuck at home, they can cook some new foods up, and obviously some healthy food that's going to hopefully keep them well. James Mahmood, you lovely man, you're always really looking after us. Kindly donated a whole 10 great British pounds. Hi guys, got to miss your last 2 streams. Do you know anything about helping women lose weight on a whole foods plant-based diet when they're menopausal, getting RDAs on lower calories is a concern for? Yeah, I certainly do. I write nutrition and workout plans, like bespoke, but it's not that difficult really. It's eating the range of whole plant foods. To work out caloric needs, you need the... in fact, I'm going to answer you because obviously you donated a lot of money there. But if you forget any of this, don't worry. Just go to my video entitled How to Eat Plant-Based Successfully. I think it's probably about a month back. It's not too far back. How to Eat Plant-Based Successfully. And it explains how you need to work out her total daily energy expenditure. So you can use an online calculator, it's like TDEE calculator, and you put in sex, height, weight, age, like rough body fat percentage. You can sort of compare that with an online chart or whatever if you don't have that data, which most people don't, to be fair. And then you'll add in like a multiplier for activity levels. And if someone has to be on low calories, it's a help if they exercise. And of course, we should all be moving our bodies. We should all be working our heart and lungs, a few times a week. We should all be working our muscles as well, because load bearing exercise also strengthen our bones. And, this is, as you get into older age, like it's just an investment in your future self, and you'll be so thankful that you did it. So that really helps. Say someone's doing some weight training, like they might be growing muscle. So in which case they don't need to even potentially lose weight, or certainly like not as quickly. Make sure that you're getting like a decent whack of protein. For someone who's seriously into training, I'd say 2 grams per pound of fairly lean body weight. This science was done on athletes. So if someone's obese, like obviously you can knock a fair bit off for that. And then, you want to eat 3 or 4 times a day. Nice big meals, really fill them out. Really emphasize low calorie vegetables. That's the way to not be hungry. Okay, but you want, for most meals, you want some sort of a legume. So lentils, beans, chickpeas, split peas, maybe like tofu or tempeh, but preferably not tempeh so much on a cut because it's not got so much fibre. And then like a whole grain as well at most meals, like quinoa, brown rice, you know, any wheat-based, you know, preferably like intact grains rather than flour-based. That's not to say that flour-based like is necessarily like bad though. Have a little fruit, like a low-calorie fruit. So again, you want to be filling yourself up. So better to eat an apple than a little date with like 1,000,000 calories and hardly touches the sides. You know, you couldn't eat many apples, but you could eat a ton of dates. And then you want a little overt fats as well. So a little nuts well, you need some flax and chia seeds as well. Ground flax, ground chia for the omega-3s. But you don't want to make that a big percentage of the diet. I would say for someone in her position, like no more than 15% of calories. And just in that way, and like I say, loads of low-calorie vegetables. So salad greens, cooked greens, cruciferous vegetables, celery, you know, all that. So it's so low in calories, you know, it takes nearly as many calories to chew it as it does, you know, the energy you get from it. It's so good and very nutrient dense. Lots of minerals which people can suffer on low calories, on smaller amounts of food. Vitamin K as well from the leafy greens. That's very important. Between meals, have a good amount of fluids as well. Keep yourself filled up. Keep yourself energized. Like hydrated, you're energized. Like everything's in your system's going to be working well. Try and get some exercise. I normally prescribe for my clients, if they're up for it, 3 resistance training workouts with 3 cardio-based workouts in between, like alternating. And then on the one day, I say, like, you know, you can take a complete rest day, but better to do like an active recovery. So in this way, you're moving your body, but it's not, the point is not to stress your body, it's to help you recover so you don't kind of like stiffen up. So it's like a long leisurely walk in nature. If you have access to one, like, you know, just paddling around in a swimming pool, or like a nice long gentle bike ride. You don't want to be grinding though. You want to be letting yourself recover. But in that way, you're burning calories 7 days a week. You can get more food in that way because you're burning food, and it's, like I say, it's an investment in your future. You know, you live longer and you live better, like with less disability towards the end of life. Which who wants that? You know, who wants to go back to a child state at the end of your life where you can't look after yourself and you've got to have people like wipe your butt for you and you can't get out of a chair and you keep breaking your hip, like falling over? Like if you do load bearing exercises, you have strong bones. You know.
You said, I've forgotten it now. I was going to take the mick out of you, but I've forgotten what you said.
I don't want you to take the mick out of
food,
me.
You said burn your calories.
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't. And it's someone's birthday again. If you want
Whose birthday is it? Dead.
Plants for the win.
Plants for the win. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. Okay, everyone, let's get the community together. I want to see lots of balloon emojis. I want to see birthday cakes. I want to see presents. I want to see that salsa lady. And let's have some claps.
Okay.
Let's have some claps, I said.
I'm doing it in the chat as a
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, I'm trying, but the computer's being slow. What about a cat in a box? Is that good?
Cat in a box.
Yeah.
That's the best thing. Refreshing. Random name. I love your positivity as well. How kind of you to say. Jude Wood, why don't you sit on the sofa like Derek Simnett? I don't know how Derek Simnett sits on the sofa, so I can't. Also, it could be leather, so I refuse to sit on it.
No, you don't.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm comfy down here. Oh, God, I've just put Thrive on my lovely shirt. Oh, it's just like wiped off. Brilliant. Let me just go on.
Someone doesn't know why we're clapping. It's because it's someone's birthday. Someone's birthday.
Whose birthday?
I've forgotten their name. Plants for the Wind.
Plants for the Win.
Plants for the Wind.
James Mahmood, you lovely man, kindly donated another £2 UK. Incredible answer. Thank you so much. You're very welcome, my friend. You're very, very welcome. Thanks for your support. You're amazeballs. Joe Shakespeare, hello, got a reasonably bad shoulder posture, rolled forward, so that's called kyphotic. I want to work out, but scared of damaging myself. I can't carry a backpack for long without them hurting pretty bad. Any ideas? W raises. I've got Gemma doing them because she can have a propensity. I hope you don't mind me saying.
I don't mind you saying.
And to be honest, I think you're getting better.
Good.
I think you're getting back, but the propensity to slouch. So 3 times a week, you want to be working your rhomboids. So they're sort of, if you imagine this was my back, they're sort of about here on your back, on either side of the spine. And their job is to pull your shoulder blades like back. So, you know, when you're kind of bent forwards at 90 degrees, probably about 45 degrees, and you do this exercise with dumbbells, so you work in the posterior delts, basically. So bent over delt raises or rear delt fly, some people call them. Let me try and show you. Obviously, you're standing up and doing it, but yeah, you'll be kind of here, and you're bringing your arms out to the side. But what you also want to do is rotate a little bit, and they're called W raises. Because at the top of the movement, it's like an elongated letter W. Yes, if you imagine I'd be, like this. So I'm coming down, I'm externally rotating, and I'm supinating the wrists, then I'm pronating. Boom. Yeah. So you're making this shape, but with your chest to the floor. 3 times a week, because it's a postural thing, it's like a endurance thing. So you want to do higher reps. You don't want to be doing like... sort of 1 to 5 reps or something like that. Or really, you want to be doing about, say, 3 sets of 15 reps. That would be nice. Do it 3 times a week. As well, you could be tight in the pectorals. So foam rolling or like a little therapy ball and lean into a wall and like massaging. Or if you've got one of these, bad boys like me, you can just... oh, god damn. You can just do that. There's what video was it that I was advertising these? Forgotten. About my last vlog. These are at the start of the vlog and you can get 20% off currently. I don't know if anyone's bought them or not. I think everyone was too worried about the old coronavirus and not having any money. But at least I got a free massager out of it. Anyway, I hope that helps Joe shake. Oh, one other thing you can do. If you've got a foam roller, you can lay that on the floor and you can lay along the foam roller with your spine, the length of your spine. And you start with your arms flat on the floor, like your forearms, and you slowly like bring them up. And again, you're just trying to open out the chest there. And just when you think of it, just posturally, you want to depress and retract your shoulder blades, you want your chin up. In one way, like if you're tight, like your posture's bad, but also if your posture's bad, you'll get tight. It cuts both ways. So it is worth just thinking about things and just trying to straighten up when you do. And particularly when you're exercising, you don't want to be exercising in this kyphotic posture. You want to make sure you're exercising only in this posture. One last tip, you could do more pulling than pushing. Perhaps like you're stronger on the front, because a lot of us, particularly guys, we work the chest really hard. We kind of forget about the back and the rear delts because we can't see them. And if they're relatively weaker, your antagonistic muscles are going to be tighter and like pulling in. So yeah, that's something else you can think about. Good question. Right. Body's not pills. I never thought you actually owned a shirt like that. I didn't for the longest time. Then Gemma bought me a nice pink one. I think it was, what is that brand?
It's the one that Nimoy's.
Yeah, the one that Nimoy Delgado promotes. Young LA, is it called?
Yeah, that's right. It's like bodybuilding.
Kind of a bodybuilding one. It's a pink one. That's really nice. Well, my thrive's all stuck to the bottom.
Oh, no.
Excuse me 1 second. Yeah, and then this shirt I got given to promote for that new company with their new technology. Oh, I love it. Love it. Geordie, love you, Paul. You're so humble, honest, and good-hearted. Yeah, you can come here again. We like you as well. How kind. Random name. Is your wife/girlfriend also vegan?
Yes.
False dichotomy. Fiance. Are you vegan?
Yes.
You better be.
Yes. I've been vegan longer than you.
That shut me up. Joe Shakespeare. Can't bench press without shoulders cracking and shutting pain down to fingertips when tackling in rugby. So that sounds like some sort of a nerve impingement, doesn't it? Yeah. I would potentially just have a word with like a physio, maybe like a session or two, particularly a physio who is also like a PT, or, do you know, a physio with a background in PT or a PT with a background in physio. Like they would, they'd be a godsend for you. The old squeakers, who are big mice. Graven Babies is in the house. Thanks for joining, lovely. It's Jordan, innit? Question. If I sleep for longer than 7 to 8 hours a night, I wake up with lower back pain. Never happens if I undersleep. Could you recommend anything to prevent this? Don't sleep for more than 7 or 8 hours. I don't know, it could be your mattress, I suppose. But 7 to 8 hours apparently is optimal for an adult anyway. Children and teenagers need longer, more like sort of 10 hours. But yeah, it could sound like maybe a mattress thing. But perhaps just, you know, some self-care, self-massage, myofascial release, stretching, that sort of thing. Inversion therapy, or like hanging from a frame and just decompressing your spine. Family Freedom could listen to you all day. Right back at you. You're lovely people. I really loved your story last night, Bob. I did say that, didn't I? I was really, I was all ears.
Can't wait to do your meditation. We haven't looked at it yet.
Yeah.
Let's get on that soon.
Yeah. Let's do that tonight.
Okay.
Everyone, after the stream, let's do Family Freedom's guided meditation.
Their newest video.
The newest video. Imagine if we all do it together. Something cool could happen.
Let's all do it.
Just saying. Simon Molyneux. Hi, Paul. Just curious to know how you view actors like Joey Carpsong, Nothing Ed. Do you think they're putting out the right message? I mean, I love their work. I think we need all kinds of voices, and I think, yeah, I think that we all need to be doing something in our own way. You know, I'll reach certain people that Earthling Ed certainly wouldn't, you know, like gym goers and whatever, probably, you know, like, I mean, meathead like ones. And then I'll never speak as eloquently, or, you know, I don't like to look at the harm that we do to animals. It hurts me too much. It affects me, and I have a bad day. So I'm better off focusing on the answer rather than the solution, rather than the problem. But, you know, he's brave enough and tough enough to actually really look at that and know all about the ethics. And I think we all need to bring our own thing. We've all got something to bring to the table. And sometimes people need a kick up the ass. Sometimes people need a kick up the bum. And the amount of people who say that Vegan Gains turned them vegan, and like he's about as aggressive as you can get. And certainly it's not the way that I would advocate, but it's probably turned more people vegan than I have. And I would say the very worst thing is to criticize someone else's activism instead of using that time and energy to do our own activism. That's I think that's really key. Where were we? Jake Ryan, good. Thanks, you helped me to become vegan. Oh wow, I kept stopping as I got headaches before using chronometer. I made sure and I had every aspect of my diet, my nutrition properly. Thanks, bro. That's amazing. That sort of thing is what makes my day. It's the reason I get out of bed every morning. You're kind enough to let me know. I really appreciate you, brother, and well done. Sweet swoo.
And I've got
A bowl.
you can't really see it. Pineapple and black bean stew.
Ooh.
Which I'm very much looking forward to.
Gravy babies. After leg day, when I walk, my bones make snap, crackle, and pop sound. I think that's part of the course, really. Echoes in the house from the Netherlands. Good to have you. Joe Benson, hello from Henley-on-Thames. Thanks for joining, my friend. How's it going there in Henley-on-Thames? Happy Sporty Vegan. Hey, Hench Herbivore and Gemma. Hope you're both hanging in well. Yeah, we're doing all right. Thank you. We're doing all right. Thanks for axing. Gub Zero, what are your top 10 plants? Oh, I don't know. I like black beans. Do you mean like plant foods or actual plants? Because the plant foods will be easier for me to answer. Black beans, butter beans. Someone's asking top 5 fruits. Fruits-wise, like berries. I'm a huge fan of sweet dark cherries. Oh, particularly like fresh or frozen in a smoothie or in a porridge or something like that. You know, dates, like real gooey dates. Top 10 plants. We'd have to have a crucifer there, so probably kale. That's so good, isn't it? I like potatoes. I should say sweet potatoes. Nutritionally, they're so much better than white, but I like white potatoes. Or if you can get like they're called blue potatoes. They are a white potato, but they're coloured. They're actually purple, but they're called blue potatoes. They're good, aren't they? They have an interesting little sort of, just a delicate sort of flavour, but there is a flavour there. Top 10 plant foods.
Depends if you mean like taste or nutrition wise.
Yeah, taste or nutritionally.
Different answers, couldn't it?
Yeah. And now Baby H is asking favourite comfort food. So I would say like Indian, like dosas, with the old sambar. Like the spicy.
Butter inside. Oh, that's a good comfort food.
Yeah. What other foods do I like? Oats. I'm a big fan of oats. Flax seeds, chia seeds, almonds, sunflower seeds. So the first two are high in omega-3s, the second two high in vitamin E, which some people can struggle with. Yeah, that's probably about 10, is it? No one say top 100 plant foods, please. Family freedom, that would be awesome. That will be some super amplified good vibes. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Cass Blonde is in the house from Canada. Did you just comment on my video, I think? I'm sure I saw your name somewhere. Thanks for joining. James Marie, meditation makes me feel so sleepy. Yeah, I can get like that. Even babies, all vegans are angels, even the grumpy ones. Echo, hey Paul, what's your opinion on hypothyroidism? How can we reverse it? My girlfriend has it, vegan for almost 7 years. Do you think it's possible to be reversible depending on the problem?
Yeah.
I wonder, thyroid hormones are made from iodine. So few people consider iodine. If you're not eating seaweed regularly, and you're not taking an iodine supplement, 150 micrograms a day, you've probably not got enough iodine to make thyroid hormone.
Some people can be hypothyroid just because they're not getting enough iodine, like you just said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
selenium's another one. Basically, a lot of disease that we think is just something that can't be helped, or perhaps it's old age. Oftentimes, it's just poor nutrition over a lifetime. So stick to the whole plant foods. Get on Chronometer, plug in all the foods, make sure that she's getting all the range of vitamins and minerals necessary. Yeah, that's the main thing, really. You're loads better, aren't you?
Oh, so much. Every year I get better and better.
Yeah. I don't know that it can be reversed in every instance, but it can certainly be seriously mitigated by healthy lifestyle practices. The more negative things you do, you know, any negative lifestyle behaviour, you know, drink drugs, not sleeping properly. You know, you need like a good routine. You need to get some light exercise if you can. Sometimes people are so ill with hypothyroid they can't always do that. You certainly don't want to be doing high like interval training, high intensity interval training. You want to be doing something like more gentle, so you don't burn the adrenals out as well, because that can compound the problem. But yeah, a lot of things are just really poor nutrition, you know. Oh. I'm quite a way behind, so I'm just going to skip forwards a little bit. If I miss your comment or question, do pop it back in the chat. Hopefully I'll get to it this time round. Gub Zero, mangoes are the best fruit. I do love a honey mango from Bangladesh, those yellow ones. They're only in season for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks tops. They're amazing. Cass Blonde probably commented, I comment on every video to feel the algorithm. You're very kind. Thank you. You're welcome, Echo 1307. Richard Benham, I recently bought some dried beans. Are there any major differences between canned and dried? Well, they need cooking for one thing. You probably need that though, or you'll break your teeth. And also, if you did somehow manage to swallow them, I heard like someone before like ground some beans up like raw, and then they poisoned themselves. Like a small amount of dietary lectins has actually been found to be healthful in humans. The reason we call it an anti-nutrient is from decades-old rat and puppy studies, where horrible people gave animals, like a little rat, they gave them the equivalent of a loaf of bread worth of lectins, not the whole food, but the lectins. So they used to do that sort of thing to animals, and so that gave them like soft bones. But however, in modern studies, we see that lectins actually are beneficial and they're health promoting. And little wonder, the people who eat the most legumes, which is the most lectin rich foods, they live the longest. If you look at the Blue Zone studies or all the centenarians around the world, the one thing they got in common is they eat a lot of legumes. But yeah, you wouldn't want to eat them raw, even if it's possible, like they'd break your teeth. But of course, so the canned ones, you know, you may have bisphenol A, BPA in the lining, which is an endocrine disruptor. So, you know, can be bad for your hormonal profile. So, you know, can be harmful in that way. So best to stick to non-BPA ones. However, sometimes the thing they replace the BPA with, like BPF, BPS, can be actually more toxic than the BPA. I'll tell you what you can get is Tetra Paks. And they're good. They don't have BPA in the line. Or you can get like glass jars. Probably better to cook from scratch, however. It's cheaper to buy the legumes. However, what you gain in, you know, you don't spend so much. You probably to cook them, you burn in a lot of fuel because they take a lot of cooking. You have to soak them for hours, like overnight or whatever. And then you have to cook them for a long time. But in that way, nearly all the lectins are destroyed. But they'll have a nicer bite. If you're used to canned beans, and then you do cook some for yourself, and then they've got this nicer texture, it sort of spoils it for the canned beans. You don't then like them so much. Yeah, so, yeah, probably healthier, but a bit more work. That's the kind of long and short of it. Graven babies. Just telling Crazy PTV, my thyroid doctor said soy doesn't harm your thyroid. What did you hear about?
I hear that crucifers and soy and things are only bad if you have a huge amount, like.
Oh, so they're goitrogenic, are they?
Yeah.
So the problem there would be, again, if you're low in iodine, would be the thing.
Just don't go crazy and just eat that. And
Don't go mad on any single food, but do have your seaweed. Get your at least 150 micrograms of iodine a day. You can go up to like 3 times that or more, but 2 or 3 times that, like you're going to have plenty of iodine. And then you can have some of these things that they tell you to avoid, like the cabbage and broccoli and things. You know, these are healthy foods. Like, why the hell would you want to avoid them? They're better cooked though. It kills more of the goitrogens. And as I say, as long as you're not iodine deficient, it shouldn't be a problem. James Mahmood, what about dried versus fresh fruits? So fresh fruits are going to be a little bit more nutrient dense. Of course, they're going to be more hydrating. I like fresh fruits more on a cut. Not that I don't eat them on a bulk, but I'll eat more of my fruits as fresh on a cut, and I'll eat more of my fruits as dried on a bulk. So it's the volume thing. So I need to get so many more calories in. I'm then just jigging around the volume of the food. Same volume, but for a different amount of calories. Fresh fruit's great though. It's very maligned. As long as you're not overeating of it. It's very sugary and it sticks to your teeth. So you want to rinse your teeth after you've eaten it. You don't want to brush them at that point because the acid in the fruit has softened the enamel. But you do want to rinse your teeth really well. So fresh is better. It's going to be more nutrient dense, but dried is useful if you're someone who struggles to get enough calories. It's Jordan, isn't it? Have you read How Not to Diet? Any good? I'm about 3/4 of the way through it currently. It's amazing. It's so good. So many amazing facts in there, all about chronobiology and how our cells all have their own kind of internal clocks and just loads of really, really good stuff. Real good hacks for fat loss. Real good, like strong, basic sort of advice, easy to stick to, and then some extras that you can kind of implement on top as well.
Why don't you do a video of summarising some of the best points from that book about fat loss?
I could do, couldn't I? Chris, not really that sweet. I had a random thought the other day. We cook so many beans, veg, etc. to be able to eat them, but since cooking isn't natural, does that mean we're designed to eat them? Poor wording, I know, LOL. What's natural, like humans are natural, so anything we do is natural, isn't it? I know it's like man-made and we've developed technology and chemicals, etc., but it's in our nature to develop technology. So it depends how far you want to go back and where you want to draw the line, and if you can always draw the line so simply. But we've been cooking food for like 2 million years, so 2,000 years. And in that time, our physiology has changed. We've made many adaptations. A couple of times we've changed in terms of our amylase production. And so we produce much more of the enzyme that breaks starch down into sugars relative to the other 633 primates. So and we've had changes to the dentition. It looks as though we've evolved to become starchivores. And while indeed we can eat like a lot of fruit, there's some science to suggest you shouldn't really overly rely on just fruit. And certainly in terms of gut biodiversity, with the microbes, like which we always talk about, the gut microbiome, the little bacteria in there. The more range of different plant-eating bacteria we have, the greater our potential for health in every way, physical, mental health. And so if you're just eating fruits, well, you've just eliminated like a big percentage of the whole plant foods, and then you won't be getting those bacteria. The bacteria come in on the food, and then we feed the bacteria with the same foods, and they flourish. And a real healthy gut microbiome can have, I'll sort of forget numbers now. I think I heard like a not Kenyan, Ugandan, where they mostly just eat whole plant foods. It's like a sort of poor area. They mostly eat whole plant foods, and they can have 1,600 different strains of beneficial bacteria based on the range of different whole plant foods that they're eating. versus like a Westerner may have like 300 if you're lucky, and a lot of those will be pathogenic anyway. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend just eating fruit. Some people say they do fine on it, you know, but even like your most staunch fruitarian will say, oh, they'll say you can't say my diet's bad because the science hasn't been done. Well, by the same token, can you say a diet's definitely good? Because by their own admission, the science hasn't been done. And I'm not saying it's a bad diet or it can't work. But what I'm saying is we just don't really know. And why limit yourself? Like to me, it's kind of bro science, you know. We're saying, oh, it's unnatural to cook foods. You know, which I see why you'd say that. And we say, oh, there's enzymes in the food that get destroyed by cooking, blah, blah, blah. But there is no data to say, like, one is better than the other, cooked or raw. There's no science on that. There's no science showing that a raw diet is better. And certainly when I ate that way, the first 2 years of my veganism, I always had a bit of gut dysbiosis going on. It wasn't until I was on the set of the Game Changers movie, I was speaking to the producers, and they were saying that the consensus of all the anthropologists, people they'd spoken to, is that we are now starchivores and we should be eating like starches. But, you know, if people want to believe that fruit's better for them, like, more power to you, and I'm not criticising, and for all I know, you could be right, but just from what I've seen, it's not looking that way from my perspective. Yeah. Mert03, is it okay for vegans to do 69? Only with a consenting human. You couldn't do that with an animal because they can't consent. Robert Russ is here. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Asmerom, no. Outside of ethical concerns, why shouldn't we eat honey, especially for people who weight train? Because it's devoid of fibre. Anything without fibre is feeding pathogenic gut bacteria, as I keep alluding to. That's the potential for our health. And you know, it's going to spike glycogen. It's going to lower your immune system. Anything sugary like that, there's hardly any nutrition whatsoever. It's minuscule. Relative to a plant food, there's nothing in there. So it's kind of an anti-nutrient. It's going to lower your immune function. We don't want that, you know, given the currently what's going on. I imagine it can lead to like fatty liver disease, things like that. Better, you know, people who are trying to get calories in, I say nuts, seeds, nut and seed butters, dried fruit, you know, all this sort of thing. Geordie, Paul, where do you stand on people experimenting on animals to develop vaccines and other medicines? There's no need in this current day and age. They've got so many other ways of, you know, computer models and such. I'm no scientist, but I understand that there's better ways. You know, oftentimes animal studies don't translate to human actual science and well-being. And there's other ways. And yeah, I wouldn't want to see an animal harmed. Abelja, Henchy, what do you think about Asian greens like bok choy or wom bok? I've not heard of that one. Interesting. Bok choy is amazing. Like kale, it's a cruciferous vegetable. So it's got the potential to produce that sulforaphane, which is sort of liver enzyme boosting. It helps really with detoxification, and it protects you from cancers and things. Lovely stuff. The one above all, least favourite fruit. That's a good question, isn't it?
I tell you my least favourite vegetable, not that you asked, broccoli. Yuck.
Broccoli? How dare you?
Hate
Sprouts. Least favourite fruit. Oh, there's some fruits, aren't there? Like a dragon fruit looks amazing. It's really bland. I'll tell you my least favourite fruit, and it was in a recent video of mine. Starfruit. Starfruit. I ate a few as a lad, and I felt really manky. And I actually saw that they're harmful. They can kill you, starfruit, if you eat enough of them. They can cause kidney damage and brain damage. It's in one of my recent videos, 10 dangerous vegan foods. So don't diss broccoli, Jem. That's a Robber Ross. He's a lovely man. And James Smith. These are all our best,
no, I've offended
people.
Everyone. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
Get your coat. Right, on that note, we're going to have to go now. I'm so sorry. Well,
I don't know what to say.
I'll give her what for, and we'll be back on tomorrow at 6. Guys, we're going to go and do something else now. But we love you so much. Back on tomorrow. Thanks for the moderators helping out. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for the connection, you lovely people. You're making this quarantine feel a lot easier for us, aren't they?
Yeah, agreed.
It's goodbye from me.
And the shameful goodbye from me.
She's terrible.